Hey everybody, we are live. Welcome everybody to FunnelHackerTV. We are so excited to have you guys. We're doing a really cool episode today, and we're just doing the recap. So we did an episode already this morning. We covered a lot of things that we did this morning. Today we get to hang out with Geek Out. Now, Susan is heavy in Geek Out. Like when Russell brought him in, I'm like, I don't know why you just don't have Andrea and like Susan do this, like, because they got this. And he's like, Ben, stop selling yourself out of the opportunity. You got it? Okay, we're good. So, Susan, can you introduce everybody really quick? Because this is fun.
Yes. Okay. So we've got Dan Havey here. He is the coding CS wizard within ClickFunnels. He can make it do whatever we want it to do. And we have Andrea here. She is like the mastermind of all the things that we do, and customer journey genius. So let's go ahead and roll the intro and we'll get into it.
We are part of an underground group of entrepreneurs that you've probably never even heard of before. We are funnel hackers, and these are our stories.
Hey there, everybody. We're so excited to have you guys here. Really quick, if you guys are following Funnel Hacking Live, what we want you to do is in the comments, let us know what else you want to see. So I'm going around grabbing assets. We have the team going around and doing that. I have images and videos galore. What is it that you want to see? So that way we can give you guys the vision that you want. Now, we can't present everything. Like, we're actually trying to make sure that this is a little shorter than what we did last night, because we went on for like an hour last night. We're trying to make this a little bit shorter because we did do the live earlier today. So if you missed that, catch it. And there's a couple of other things that we did or that just happened at Funnel Hacking Live that you should be caught on to. So first off, why don't we start with going through like what happened today? So we all sat in, every one of us like has something that we really remember. So first off, Russell came on this morning and did the introduction and kind of introduced us back into the linchpin and started talking about all the different things that are involved in linchpin. So brought us in. Yesterday was mostly a foundation day, it felt like.
Yeah.
Like it was getting foundation and mindset and things like that. And then I totally forgot about this. Stu came on.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, Stu came on. He was awesome. It was quick.
Yeah.
But it was really, really awesome.
Yeah.
And then
this morning, right?
Yeah, that was
this
morning.
a
year ago.
It feels like a blur. And it's crazy. Like, this is truly fire hose. It is absolutely madness how much there is. But we had Garrett White come on. Now, who listened to Garrett? Like, Dan, what did you pick up from Garrett White? Because Garrett White was Garrett White, but it was different.
Well, and Garrett was really talking about it. He's been doing this for many years now, and he's been doing it all by himself. He's been trying to just be a coach, and he was a one-man band, more or less. I mean, he had assistants and whatnot, but what he realized is in order to be able to really be able to teach his people, he had to bring in facilitators.
Yeah.
So what he can do is he can create the content and then get a facilitator to basically get everybody on the Zoom call, play a video, give them the content, make them work through the exercises. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice here. But he can be, as he said today, he's here speaking while his facilitators are taking care of his people. So it's definitely a way to extend your ability to be able to bring more and more people into your world.
And the cool thing that I thought from that was he said, like, we've tried just having a basic program. We've tried having coaches, and now we've done facilitation, and facilitation is getting it done far better. Like, people are actually doing the thing far more than any of the previous things they've done in the past, which is almost like a secret power.
Yeah, I think when you get people in a live facilitated situation and you say, okay, here, watch this, and when we're done, we're going to give you an assignment, and you're going to do it right now. You're going to write it out. You're going to figure this out, and then they got it done.
Yeah.
Instead of leaving them on their own, it's done, and they don't ever have to do that again.
And so I love the breakout rooms, especially as that part of that, like the ability to, like, now you've done it on your own. Now we're all going to talk about it in a group. You have 10 minutes. And so it was just a lot of cool stuff. And Russell's working all of this into things. If you guys have seen, if you're in Juicy CX, you know what we're talking about. And he's going to talk more about that tomorrow. So
I want to ask Andrea, what was your favorite of the day or the standout one of the day that you wanted to talk about?
Well, okay, so I did love Stu's, I have to say. So I'm throwing you a curveball. I did love Stu's just because I love the way he talks about the mastery path and having key milestones. I know we all talk about that a lot, and I really appreciate the attention on that. And then Steve Larson and Russell came on. Yeah. And it was just fantastic. I mean, anybody who's been in this space for, any amount of time knows Steve really well. Right. But it was like a new layer of what he was presenting today. It was fantastic. And he was talking about the hook offer, and that actually the offer is the hook. And he took us through this exercise where he was really going into like the hard emotion of it, and then creating the URL based off the emotion, and the hook is the first thing that sells. And we've all heard hook, story, offer, but I think we hear it so fast that it's like, I feel like he really slowed down the wings of the butterfly today and was like, let's really hone in on the hook. You know what I mean?
I love that.
Yeah, it was so good.
Andrea is the best at these awesome phrases.
Oh, it was so cool. Like, one of the things that I really liked is like he talked like how the advertorial needs to be its own self-contained story. Like the advert is its own story that's disconnected from the offer. It gets the information, it sells the idea that the rest of the presentation is based on throughout the rest of the funnel.
And I have to say too, just because like I think a lot of times in marketing we do this like it's like I think we, the way he talked about leaning into the emotion, it felt like it was appropriate and like, let's really dive into the emotional aspect of it. And it wasn't over sensationalized. It was accurate and honest and truthful for the emotion.
Yes.
And I thought that was so good.
And the way so something he may or may not have shared, I can't remember, Dan. We've heard some similar presentations to this in the past,
right?
But not at Funnel Hacking Live. The way he described it, he's almost pulling it out of people. So like he's like, this came from them. This came from them. So often it's like, we have what it takes. We just haven't spoken it out enough and organized it. So it's just getting it out there and then allowing maybe a third party to help us put the pieces together in order to create that. So
it's in you.
Okay, cool. All right. So really quick, we also had Bridger. Bridger came on. What stood out to you? What was your
Yeah. Okay. So Bridger and Mason, so I saw them, I think they were at Inner Circle that we heard them present at first. Was it at Inner Circle that we went to?
Yeah.
I was like, I said Inner Circle or Master, all of the things. And they, so they took what they presented in Inner Circle that I saw, and then they added to it. It was like really, really cool that they added a lot more to it. One of the cool things that I took from theirs though, is that so Bridger and Mason, they have like a fund launch is their business. But they came on stage to talk about how they use dramatic demonstrations, like they call them short form dramatic demonstrations to drive traffic into their to sell their offers. And they use so they'll go and find what the current events are happening in the world, and then they'll just like create content to create their ads according to whatever's the current event. So like for an example, the Olympics were going on, and so they went and they made like they ran their dramatic demo as what was it called? Fund games, because they couldn't use Olympics as like a trademark thing or something. So they called it fund games. They ran ads. The other piece was that they talk about how they run ads. They go find legendary ads, and then they just like mimic it for their thing. And they showed a lot of examples. And it was really
and
cool.
they had a lot of fun with it. It was like stuff that they just kind of bootstrapped together. They're like, this is done on a dime budget. This wasn't complicated, but it's something that created that growth. That was just fun.
Well, and even a contest that they ran that I thought was very simple is take a guess at what the Dow is going to be on a certain date.
Right.
I mean, anybody can do that. It costs
Easily.
absolutely nothing. You can make a new entry every single day, and it just keeps people coming back and being engaged with you on a regular basis.
Yeah.
So was that a dramatic demonstration, like webinar funnel mixed with a fishbowl funnel?
I feel like it was mostly fishbowl.
Mostly fishbowl.
Selling the end product that you want people to get.
Because then they would get onto a webinar.
Oh, they did the webinar.
And then they would pitch them on the
So
webinar.
they're a fishinar then?
It's a fishinar.
Fishinar.
It's literally like Steve Larson talks about. It's the hook. That's the little dramatic demonstration that gets people to the one that you want. So yeah.
So then Nehemiah Davis.
Oh my gosh,
today.
Neo was crazy. He came out running. Like he literally just came out and just, oop, I got the wrong video.
He did. He
Um,
liked it.
That's like Steve again.
Yeah, that is Steve. Oh, you know what? I wonder if I didn't load it up.
So-
Let me go and see if I can
so-
grab it real quick.
Yeah, well, then taking a look. So Nehemiah Davis, he's actually speaking twice at this FHL. So today was his first one. He's speaking again tomorrow.
Yeah.
Today, you want to tell him what he talked about?
So today was really, it was funny. I was sitting with the staff and he got everybody up on their feet and believing and loud and excited more than I think almost anybody else has this entire time who isn't Russell. Because every time Russell comes out, like, we love Russell. But like, it was crazy how he increased the energy, how he used his story in the right spots in order to increase the energy. It's just the command of the room was brilliant. It was really, really cool. But then he talks a lot about, he gave like 7 different ways that we can get traffic. And he gave them rapid fire. And they were simple things that you don't think about, like ways that you can use Instagram and things that you can hack and things like that. And it was just really, it was brilliantly put together and organized. And it was really quick. And I feel like I almost wonder if people missed the goal.
It was really fast, really
It
rapid
was
fire.
real
but
fast.
That's why we get replays eventually, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Just buy the tickets
Yeah.
for next
I
year.
was gonna say, especially you sign up, you'll get them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Love how it works. So we got that piece. And so Neil was great. But was really cool. And I'm excited. So there were a couple of ideas that he dropped. And one of my favorite ones was like doing an infomercial overnight. So use your Instagram to replay your testimonials and your sales pitches while you're asleep.
Yeah.
Because we know infomercials work. So just have them play in the evenings as if it was an infomercial and you'll wake up and you have sales.
Yeah.
And I was like,
it was really cool.
what? So there's a whole bunch of ideas. They're just magic. So have to watch the replays in order to grab that. It was super, super sick.
Yeah.
In short, like we got everybody. We're not going to talk about Dan Kennedy this time because it's still raw. We're still trying to figure out what we really want to talk about on that. So let's talk about what happened this morning, shall we? Because
Did something happen this morning?
yeah, this is true geek
Something
out
happened
cash.
this
We need to
morning.
talk about what
Yeah.
happened.
That's really why we're here. Yeah.
That's why we're here.
Okay, so I think I want to start with the question of overall general thoughts of what was given to us. Like, are you feeling on cloud 9? Are you feeling like where are you at with?
Okay, that is such a good question, Susan.
Maybe it was the wrong one for this show.
Well,
No, it's okay.
Oh, it's kind of mixed emotions in some ways because it's like, holy
So
cow, they gave us a lot of stuff, and
Yeah.
holy cow, we got a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Like I want to go sequester into a room and just like dive into
Yeah.
it, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get home just so
Yeah.
get into it for real.
I think it's why I just continue to be so committed in the ClickFunnels community. Because I mean, all of us, I think, share this sentiment in that I think when you're developing software and giving it to the masses and have this like massive goal to reach 1 million people, that is not an easy thing
No.
for any company, right?
Yeah.
And I think that they have just surrounded themselves with the best talent. I mean, to have Andrew Carver from,
Yes.
you know what I mean? Like,
Andrew Culver jumped
yeah,
in
Culver,
and
yes,
just
exactly.
changed the game.
yes. I mean, and just to like put that much emphasis on the architecture of the platform and making sure, because you have to have a really great architecture behind you in order to make the platform just be infinitely scalable to all of the masses. And so I think for me, it was first and foremost just for Todd and Russell to share the stage with him and put that much emphasis on product and the architecture of the product. I think that's enormously huge
Yeah.
for the growth, and we backed the right horse.
Well, Ben, I would say, do you want to give a little heads up as to who Andrew is? Because we just threw his name out there, and I don't think we
Yeah.
mentioned who he was at all.
No, I don't think we did. So Andrew does so much. So the way that they introduced him is a lot of the stuff that was built in ClickFunnels Classic and especially ClickFunnels 2.0 was built. It's all Ruby on Rails is the system, but there was a software created that helps you code better with Ruby on Rails called Railgun. Yeah, I think it's
Bullet Train.
Bullet Train. Thank you.
There you
Yeah.
go. Bullet Train. Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
so they were like, we love Bullet Train. This is great. And when they all sat down, the way Todd explained it to me is like we all sat down and it was time for us to actually build this out. We had to describe like who do we want. And he's like, it would be so nice to get the creator of Bullet Train on board to be able to build this right. And he's had successful exits in the past. He understands how to be a founder. He's built all these different things. And it was so cool to be able to have him come on and be able to like explain why it's important to be able to have him. So Andrew is spectacular.
Yeah.
And it's really amazing.
And the crew of people that he ended up bringing in with him. It's a whole cadre of people that he's known over the years, worked with over the years, and is bringing them in to help along with it as well.
Yes. And the cool thing was, so like behind the scenes, like he's able to be like, this is what we need to get talent in this who follow Bullet Train, and already he knows where the people live that we need.
Yeah.
And he's able to like, it just, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Which changes the game, because then at that point we can actually attract the people that we need, because I don't know how many, we have like 107 developers on the ClickFunnels team out of a team of 374.
That's amazing. And to do that with no investor capital, that is phenomenally unheard of, amazing. It's incredible.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It was really, really cool.
Yeah.
Okay. A couple of the features that stood out for me. I am still really excited about communities and learning hubs.
Yeah.
Like I love that piece because of the simplicity it's going to provide to people. A lot of us want to create our courses. We want to make it so that way it's this huge built out system that looks just like Russell's. And a lot of us have no idea the work that goes into something like that.
Yeah.
And we're like, why can't this just work with one click?
Yeah.
It's like, no, this is like Russell builds pristine A-level systems. How can we get something just up?
Yeah.
And that's one thing that Todd talked about with the goal between learning hubs.
Yep.
So that was cool. And I know you're interested in that.
Oh my gosh, so much. Yes, so much. Yes. Yeah. It's just, it, like I said, it's I want to dive into it all night. And so,
It's like if we could get the developers all into one room and have an extension.
Yeah, we could. That would be pretty cool.
That would be pretty cool. Yeah, so that would be really neat. And it's like learning hubs, and what I love is the progress tracking. It all lives like I can have a course now that I don't have to design. I can have communications in there, and I can have it inside the community as well. So that way I have a home for my people, and it's one home.
Yeah, and you're missing one important piece.
Okay.
So in order to make this amazing, right, you need your content hub, you need your community, check, right? Now it's there, and you need a nurture path. And the nurture path is with all of the automations, which they've also improved. And so it's like the trifecta of what you need to have a great learning experience is all right there. Yeah. And I mean, I know I'm jumping ahead, but the workflows are point.
The workflows are great.
Yeah, they're getting there.
So you're falling in love with workflows a little bit.
Okay, so this is so funny.
Don't get her started. Don't do it. Don't do it.
I am. They're definitely great. And just what they announced in terms of the amount of new triggers and new features that can go into an automation, and just the vision that they shared for automations, and to be able to get super creative with them. I mean, it's huge, right? It's a game changer. It's how you actually make really great customer experiences, is to be hyper targeted, hyper segmented, and all of that. So, yeah.
And all the integrations that go along with that, and the adding on of Zapier, which we were told for sure it is pronounced Zapier, like happier, not Zapier.
We call them Zaps. We don't call them Zapes.
And also the open API now too.
Yes.
So you can integrate with just about anything you want. But for me, I will say this though, the thing that just I kept hearing over and over and over again when they were talking about the membership sites, what do you guys call them, the training centers?
Learning hubs.
Yeah, I'll just make up a new term here. Learning hubs. They must have brought this up half a dozen times. And every time they said it, it caught my ear, which was, and you can use them to sell.
Yeah.
So you're selling from within the membership site, and it's like multiple ways. So you get somebody in, it's not done at that point. You're just starting at that point. And you just keep upgrading them, ascending them, getting them into more of your products.
Yep.
I'll talk about something that I'm excited about that stood out to me. And it wasn't, I guess it's kind of, I don't know, it's probably phase one though. So they've rebuilt the two-step checkout element a few times now. And now there's a version that what they call it, smart checkout. It's called smart checkout. So it's the two-step checkout that we know and love from Classic, but it's so much better. The coolest part, there's really cool things about it, but I'll just name one of them for sake of time. Because we're all focusing on continuity right now, right? We got to get continuity into our businesses or we don't actually have a business, right? So the ability to, the smart checkout's going to be able to allow someone to like quickly, like it's going to recognize that they've been there before. They're going to be able to quickly put in like a code that gets sent to their text or their email, and then it's going to recognize them. And then it's going to know if they've already purchased the product. So if you're selling like your level 1 continuity and they already bought that and they land on the page where you're selling that, it's going to recognize that they already have it. And instead of that being the end of the interaction, it can offer them to upgrade to the next level. And it will upgrade them. So aside from that, there's going to be like the ability within the system to, when someone's gonna be able to upgrade, and it's gonna be a true upgrade, not a start a new subscription and then we got to go cancel the other subscription, which is what we were doing, which is a manual process for your customer service team. So, and the ability of the recognizing and doing like an auto suggested upgrade is no one else can do that. This is the only software platform.
Yeah, the automatic cancellation, or cancellation funnel, I think they even refer to it as is automatically built in now. So one click and you don't have to worry about it.
It's supporting true continuity, right? I mean, it's amazing. Yeah.
And it's, so imagine trying to sell your Mifke offer.
Yeah.
And you go to click on it and you're like, how many times have somebody bought something multiple times? You're like, oh my gosh. This gets rid of that, so you don't have duplication anymore.
Yeah.
But then it also, you try to sell this one thing and they forget that they bought it because we're all rabid buyers.
Yeah.
Follow Russell, come on.
Yeah.
And it sells them automatically the next upgrade instead. So you're like, there. Oh, by the way, did you want this next thing? You have this already.
Amazing.
Did you want to take it to the next level? So,
yeah.
So I don't know. Are we going to wrap up? Because I kind of wanted to end something. Okay. All right. There was it about a week ago that I found out, I think I found out some things ahead of time and I didn't share anything, but I actually went to, was it both of you or maybe just Andrea? And I was just like, I'm so excited because they're literally building a platform that is supporting Linchpin. Like Linchpin is the platform. The platform is Linchpin, and you cannot separate them. And you, if anyone wanted to follow Russell's frameworks and follow Linchpin, they can try to go do it somewhere else, but it's going to be incredibly difficult or cost them an incredible amount of money to go hire somebody to build it.
Yes.
And ClickFunnels 2.0 is built to implement the Linchpin framework.
Well said. Yeah. So well said. Yep.
Let's see. Do you guys have any other like final thoughts, awesome things you want to share before we?
I mean, if you have ever been in doubt of like, you know, which company has the absolute best in terms of funnels and is looking up for the client and is just out in droves for support, and just if you want to get serious about your funnel game, like it's just today. I mean, if we do nothing else at Funnel Hacking Live, that to me just like secured it. I'm like, check. Yep. Decision made. Yep.
The one thing I would add, and we're going to go back to the features just for a second here, is one that I thought was really huge, especially for people overseas, direct PayPal integration.
Oh yeah. That's huge.
Yeah.
That I think is going to be really huge because there's a lot of markets out there, and they were talking about a lot of improvements to Payments.AI, so that if Stripe for some reason doesn't want to accept a payment from a certain country, it'll flip you to the country that, or a bank in the country that will accept it.
Right.
And that's huge, again, just from the sales standpoint, because they're talking an extra 10-20%, especially with PayPal. And I don't know, well, I won't say it because I'm not sure this is that speak to your Richard, so I won't say it. But yeah, just PayPal alone is going to help out so many people around the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, great. One more thing, and then we got to end this.
We can go all night.
One of the biggest complaints that we see all the time in our group, in the ClickFunnels group, is with Payments.AI. And they're like, oh, why do we have to use Payments.AI? Why can't we just integrate directly to Stripe?
Oh, yeah.
Go watch the stream of the State of the Union. It was streamed into the ClickFunnels official group. And Todd addresses that exact thing. Yeah. He lays out, here's the cost of Payments.AI by itself. Here's the cost of Payments.AI plus Stripe. here's the cost of Stripe by itself and all of the hidden fees. And spoiler alert, Stripe costs the most by itself. Like by itself, it costs more than the other two. So if you want to go see those numbers and how they laid it out, and any of the other things that we've been talking about that we didn't even talk about even half of it.
1%.
Yeah. So go watch it.
We're not sleeping.
Buy your ticket to Funnel Hacking Live.
If you're not finding the video easily, type search State of the Union. It should be popping up near the top because it was just today. So make sure you go watch that so it doesn't get lost. You don't forget about it. Go get updated on all of the things. Anything else you want to add, Ben?
No, nothing else I want to add. Literally, there's so much coming and it just keeps coming. If you want to stay tuned, make sure that you text FHTV to 208-231-3797. Details are below. And we will keep giving you guys updates in the mornings or in the afternoons when we go live. And if you want to hang out for the late nights, we're here. We'd love to have you guys. Thank you for being on.
All right.
This is great.
Yay.
Thank you.
Bye.
See you guys.
Thanks guys for being on with us.
Oh, thanks for having us. You guys are awesome.
Great. Can't wait to hear you speak. We'll give you a recap later.
Bye, everybody. Tune into us tomorrow.
Bye.
There are so many people walking around who don't know that they can change the world.
You were born to do something great with your life. As an entrepreneur, you're going to have painful experiences, but all pain is temporary. And if you can survive it, you will meet another version of yourself.
I was just numb. We were racking up credit cards. We stopped paying for our house. We literally were selling furniture out of our home.
I felt trapped and exhausted by my life, and I couldn't see a way out.
I felt like a shell of who I was made to be.
In life, you are most capable of helping the person you used to be. If you used to be broke, you can help broke people. If you used to be broken, you can help broken people.
It starts with you. You hear the call. You feel it. It's beating, it's pulsing. I'm made for something more.
We get scared.
And then fear hits us.
The little voices in the back of our head.
I'm not ready. I'm not worthy. The driven say, no, I'm going to do it. The driven are you guys here today.
More people are finding their breaking point and waking up.
I have a calling. Yesterday I realized I have to do this.
There's a soul here at ClickFunnels.
I felt like I had gone through the wardrobe of the Chronicles of Narnia, and I was just like, what is this magical place that makes billionaires?
I'm going to show you the magic trick that's made me all of my money.
My best-selling framework.
Start out closing if you're going to end up closing.
82% of customers trust influencers.
This better blow your mind and allow you to predict the future.
People need aliveness and meaning again.
Who do you want to become? What do you want to felt and experience in this one precious life?
You wouldn't be able to tell, but I ran the New York Marathon when I was 19. Life happened and my mom passed away. One of my daughters had a traumatic brain injury, wasn't expected to live.
When you meet somebody that continues to push through adversity, that is the definition of an entrepreneur. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to sponsor you through this journey because everybody deserves an opportunity. What you do with it is up to you.
People feel a sense of belonging here.
It feels like home. It's so encouraging because if they can do it, so can I.
It starts with saying, hey, next year we're going to get that.
Russell has a way of teaching that makes success faster.
In my opinion, he's the best marketer who ever lived.
You find exactly what your business is missing.
It's going to amplify every campaign you do.
If you've been thinking there has to be a better way to do this than what you're being told, I'm here to tell you you're right.
People might say you're too young or you're too old or your body's not right or you didn't go to the right school. Then one day, they're telling people how they met you.
Funnel Hacking Live changed my entire life because now I know what I'm going to do next.
Your family is going to be blessed. Your legacy
city's going to be blessed. Movements are about to be birthed.
My story hopefully gave women permission.
If you believe me, stand to your feet.
You do not have to be great to get started, but you have got to start if you ever want to be great.